Hey everybody, happy Valentine's Day. The movie Companion, I just saw it in theaters last night with my girlfriend, and it was not at all what I was expecting. I did see a preview when I was watching a different movie for it, and then I guess that caught my girlfriend's attention and she wanted to see it, so we saw it, and it was pretty wild. To my surprise, this isn't really a love story at all. I thought that's what it was gonna be, being it coming out in February, it being called Companion, and the picture being of a girl and a dude like face to face. But no, it is a futuristic robot psychological thriller movie, and I definitely prefer that to romance. So let's get into the movie. So there is two robots called Iris and Patrick. Neither of them know they're robots until like a little later in the movie. There's Huey Campbell from The Boys playing Josh. There's some I don't know where this girl's from, but her name is Kat. She did a pretty good job. And then there's the gay couple Patrick and Eli. And then there's one dude named Sergey. That is pretty much the entire cast for the movie, and now we're gonna dive right into it. So, Josh and Iris thinks she's in love, like she has a perfect fairy book story about how they met and everything. And it states at the start of the movie, uh, like she felt this like super euphoric feeling only twice in her life, the day she met Josh and the day she killed him. So I honestly don't really like how at the start of the movie it states how it's going to end pretty much, because the way it plays out it has you like thinking like how the hell is this going to happen. It looks like Josh has the upper hand. He has the high ground. He's going to win this fight. But you know he's going to lose somehow. And I think the way he lost, I knew it was coming. I told my girlfriend like a half hour before, this is what's going to happen to him. And then at the end, I was right. Oh my gosh, I'm a genius. So that's one complaint I have about the movie. I thought it, for what it is, I thought it was a pretty good movie. It was pretty cool. Another look into like the AI. I think the way that AIs are portrayed is honestly pretty scary. I think this will be the future in 10 to 15 years. They're just like perfect human clones. They're pretty much sex dolls or sex toys that they're like super advanced, so they're human. And we already have something like this right now, but it's way underdeveloped. So give it a few years until you can get your own Iris or Patrick. So, anyways, the main plot is Josh and Kat are in cahoots for a scheme. They're pulling off a devious heist. The Russian man named Sergey is portrayed to be a mob boss. He has a giant scar on his face, like Kakashi. He just has that Russian accent that you'd associate with like this dude. He just sells guns or like I don't know, but whatever it is, he has it. So Cat knows he's not. He just I think he sells dirt, but he's just like a super millionaire. And so they're scheming. So what he does is he mods his sex doll Iris. He turns up her aggression and self-defense function that isn't normally there. He tells her to go wait at the beach for him, and then Kat tells Sergey to go meet him there. And then I guess Kat told him like, "Oh yeah, you can get in there." So he starts coming on to her really heavily, and then like she's saying no, like she's freezing up, and then he grabs her, and then she grabs a bottle and she gives him a bonk, and he hits his head on a rock, and then he wakes up, tackles her, and then she had a switch knife on her, which she then uses to murder Sergey. And their original plan was she murders him, he resets the mod, he calls the police, he calls the people that built the robot, they examine her, because he removed the mod, it'll be like, oh, it's a malfunction, and then everyone gets away except Sergey, of course. Iris probably gets sent back to the factory or gets reset. And then Josh and Kat walk away with millions of dollars. That was their plan. What actually happened is she killed him. She comes back. Everyone acts surprised. They tie her. This is like the first. This is where know she's an AI. I don't know if this happened in the trailer, but like mid conversation, he just says Iris sleep, and then her eyes roll back into her head, which honestly I should have thought about, because if you look at the poster for the movie, it is literally like the dude whispering in her ear, and her eyes are totally whited out. So it looks like it in the poster she is in sleep mode, but what do I know? I'm just an idiot. So he ties her up while she's sleeping, and then he wakes her up and he goes on a little villain monologue here. He's like, I want you to know before I do this that you are a robot. And then she's like, what the hell? Because imagine gaining sentience like this, tied up and shit. He's like, you're a robot. She's like, no, 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 I feel things. I have all these memories. He's like, yep, that's all programming. And he does some stuff on her phone. He makes her speak Spanish. He changes her eye colors. And she's like, okay, I might be a robot. And then Kat comes in and she's like, dude, you need to turn her off right now. And then she starts geeking off. She's tweaking now because she's pretty much said you need to kill her. And then he takes a break from her. She sees the knife on the floor. She does the classic tied to the chair jump. She falls, gets the knife, and then she escapes. And just some middle stuff happens. And then now Eli is in on the plan. And then while they're discussing splitting the money, he wants it to be between 4 people. But this is where we learn that Patrick is a robot, because he also gets put to sleep. So now Eli is in on the plan. He gets a gun, and they all go hunting for Iris in the woods. Now, they're just walking. Some basic dialogue is happening. I can't even remember, to be honest. And then they find her. I believe she stole his phone too. So what she did is she turned her intelligence all the way up. So now she's pretty much in full control of herself because she has the remote. So Harvey, they're just chilling, talking, or Eli and Patrick are talking, and then they hear her phone ring. And then they get into a small little scuffle, they roll down a hill, and then Iris grabs the gun and she murders Eli. So now it is just Josh and Kat are the 2 remaining humans. So upon finding Eli's body, Patrick is the robot. He's like mourning Eli. He's just being chilling, sitting there, head on his lap, all that stuff. But he's like frozen and shock or whatever. And then Josh comes up. He uses Eli's Face ID with his eyes closed, mind you. That is another pet peeve. I don't think you can actually access your phone with Face ID if your eyes are closed. So that's just a little tweaker thing that I'm like, that's not gonna work. But then he resets Patrick into his robot, and then a funny little story plays. And I want to say quickly that the humor in this movie is actually pretty good. Okay, so yeah, now Patrick is Josh's robot. He mods him. He turns the aggression up. On Iris, the aggression is at 20, and for Patrick, he put it at 100. So pretty much, Patrick just turns into the Incredible Hulk. And he just says, go find her. And then at this point, Iris has ran back all the way to Josh's car. And he pretty much has the Go-Go Gadget Mobile. The car is activated with his voice recognition. And because she has the phone, she changed. As he's sitting there trying to break into the car with a rock through the window, she's customizing her voice with the sliders. And then of course, as she's about to break in, she finally copies his voice and says go. And then she starts going, she's driving home, and then he activates this car has been stolen. And then it pulls over, and then a cop comes, and the cop starts arresting her. And then Patrick starts coming up, walking down the middle of the road like the Terminator. And he just grabs the cop and he beats the shit out of him. Like, he caves this dude's face in bad. So after he did that, he shut her off. He brought her back, and then the dude, her cat, started freaking out. She started taking the money. She said, you're doing way too much now. That's not the plan. I'm taking my half and I'm leaving." And he says, "Patrick, stop Cat." And then boom, stabbed in the back. She's dead. And then he prepares a dinner for himself and Iris. The reason why his plan didn't work is because Josh is stupid. Literally, this whole movie is just like, it's the whole thing just is a perfect heist if Josh takes his head out of his ass. So I'm pretty sure, I don't know, it's hard to tell if Josh has feelings or like not for Iris, because he's just, I don't even know. He was just written poorly, I guess. So he has a dinner. He's like saying, "You're a robot. You can't feel pain." He puts her hand like this over a fire and her whole arm catches on fire, and she's crying, but she's not because she's a robot. Then he puts it out. He gives her a gun, and then she makes her shoot herself. And then he calls the robot company, and then they say, like, they're pretending to eat his story up because they know the robot's obviously modded. And the second they get it, like, the robot people are explaining to him, "Yep, we're going to just go reboot her. We're going to scan her. And then we're going to look through her video and memory footage." And then he's like, "What?" Then he starts freaking out. They load her up into the truck. He sends Patrick to go murder him. And by the time he like stops it, she's already rebooted. Then there was 2 robot helpers. She saves one of them, and one of them gives her full like self-control over her own body. For the first time, she is now a free person. So what she does with this is she goes to see Josh one more time, and they have a quick little duel. She has the gun in her hand, and Josh is like, he does that thing where he's like, "This is the gun." He's like, "You're not going to shoot me. Do it." And then he just throws her to the floor, and then they get into a scuffle. And then this is I predicted this, mind you. I am a genius. There was a corkscrew, like an electric one that made like a super like loud pop. It was used twice before this, just on a bottle of wine. And then Josh is like, he's literally like this: "Do you have any final words?" And then she says, "Go to sleep, Josh." And then he puts the thing in his head, and then that's it. She kills Josh. She's free. It shows her. She gets all of the money. She takes Sergei's Mustang, and then she's driving home. And then the last scene, it shows another dude with the exact same robot as Iris. So it's pretty much Iris here and Iris there. But since her arm melted off, she looks at her and she waves with the metal arm. So she just gives that Iris a stray and gives her sentience. And that was the movie. There's some good, some bad things about it. Pretty much, I just didn't like how it spoiled the movie ending at the start of it. But there was that, and just some of the humor didn't land, but most of the humor was good. I think the characters could have been written a little better, like I was talking about Josh. Like, just do your job and you wouldn't die, like literally, if you just shut her off when you needed to, instead of giving this robot like a conscience. Like, you are real, you're a robot, like just shut her off, dude. There's that. And what was good about it is the cast was honestly good. I always like seeing Jack Quaid, which is Huey Campbell in like movies. I swear I'm always surprised when I see him. I just know him from The Boys. I really like seeing him in Oppenheimer. He just always appears every time. It's a good time. But yeah. Oh, and this Indian girl, Megan Surf. I don't even know if she is brown. Megan Surf. I don't know, but she was fine. She was really pretty. And so, good cast, good humor, pretty good chemistry. Just Josh needs to not be so fucking stupid. I do think Rotten Tomatoes having this at a 94% is a little high just for what the movie is. But honestly, it's good. It was a pleasant surprise. I thought it was going to be like a lovey-dovey Valentine's thing, so I was really surprised, and it got me more invested and interested when I realized that it is an AI story. And yeah, that's about it. I would recommend you seeing this if you're interested in psychological thrillers or just want a fun movie to watch with your girlfriend. It's pretty much, uh, it's pretty similar to Hard Eyes and like the enjoyability. But yeah, that's about it. See you.